Okay, we resume our presentations from the last slide regarding reporting formalities for the maritime transport sector. We'll say again the previous slide in order to have a compact view about the required reporting formalities. According to the Annex of the Reporting Formalities Directive, the Annex of the Reporting Formalities Directive contains a list of 14 reporting formalities that fall within the scope of the Reporting Formalities Directive and which, if required, in accordance with legislation applicable in Member States, are to be submitted by through a national single window. According to the forms required, the reports required include reporting formalities resulting from legal acts of the Union. This category of reporting formalities includes the information which shall be provided in accordance with the following provisions. First of all, notifications for ships arriving in and departing from ports of the Member States according to Article 4 of the Directive of 2002 of the European Parliament and of the Council of June 2002 establishing a community vessel traffic monitoring and information system. Secondly, border checks on persons according to Article 7 of the Regulation of 2006 of the European Parliament and of the Council of March 2006, establishing a community code on the rules governing the movement of persons across borders. Thirdly, identification of dangerous goods or polluting goods carried on board, according to Article 13 of Directive 2002 of the European Commission, of the European Parliament and of the Council of June 2002, establishing a community vessel traffic monitoring information system. Fourthly, notifications of waste and residues according to Article 6 of the Directive of the European Commission, of the Parliament and of the Council of 2002 on port reception facilities for ships generated waste and cargo residues. Fifthly, notifications of security information according to Article 6 of the Regulation of 2004 of the European Commission, European Parliament and Council of 2004 on enhancing ship and port facility security. Under the adoption of a harmonized form at international level, the form set out in the appendix of this annex shall be used for the transmission of information required under Article 6 of the Regulation of 2004. This form can be also transmitted electronically. Finally, entry summary declarations according to Article 36A of Council Regulation of 1992, establishing the Community Customs Code. Moving to the full forms and formalities resulting from international legal instruments, this category of reporting formalities includes the information which shall be provided in accordance with the FOL Convention and other relevant international legal instruments. The FOL Form 1 is about general declaration. The FOL Form 2 is it relates to cargo declaration. FOL Form 3 is subject to ship stores declaration. FOL Form 4 is about cruise effects declaration. FOL Form 5 is about crew lists. FOL Form 6 is about passenger lists. And finally, FOL Form 7 about the seventhly, FOL Form 7 is with regard carriage of dangerous goods. And finally, the Maritime Declaration of Health. And the third category of reporting formalities, which includes any relevant national legislation, Member States may include in this category the information which shall be provided in accordance with their national legislation. Such information shall be transmitted by electronic means. In such a way, in this graph, in this picture, we can see the evolution of the required reporting formalities in the EU context. Some years ago, multiple reports from vessels regarding ship stores declaration, crew effects declaration, crew and passenger lists, as well as cargo declaration, were required to be sent to multiple authorities such as Port Authority, the Maritime Authority, Customs, in every port the ships entered. Evolutions that came up with the Reporting Formalities Directive allowed vessel reports transmitted for ship stores, declarations, crew effects, cruise and passenger list, cargo declarations to be electronically transmitted to all authorities once per port of call. Although these signals sufficiently more improved framework for the transmission of documents and reporting formalities, again vessels will have to resend in every port they reach the following document, the previously named documents, in every port they reach. So evolutions and enhancements should come forth in order to reach our ideal situation, which would be described in the last phase of this graph, which is the maritime framework, where maritime transport related data and updates to all relevant administration and authorized operations are transmitted through an maritime data exchange mechanism, which automatically concentrates in a centralized way all the information regarding ships formalities, and which sends automatically to all operators across all operators, including port authorities, maritime authorities, customs, intermodal operators, to share information quickly, seamlessly, and efficiently. At this point, we reach the final section of our presentation, where we have some conclusions regarding the issues discussed. The real challenges ahead in the field of maritime law to be faced in the coming There are real challenges ahead in the field of maritime law to be faced in the coming years. The goal to achieve through international organization and treaties a harmonized set of rules for most to follow is still far away. Shipping rules have not yet reached the integration that other modes of transport, such as the air transport, has achieved, although it is a far more traditional way for the carriage of people and goods. Maritime transport is a quite complex field in today's globalized environment, which has to be looked at from various viewpoints, with many parties interacting, coming from various countries and markets. A certain point of unification in laws and practices can only be achieved through further integration of maritime rules and shipping formalities. In this context, the most important role, as we discussed earlier, belongs to the organizations such as the UN, the European Union, the IMO, as well as others. Today, there is no sufficient and detailed information available on the extent of the traffic movement of ships from one European Union port to another, or of ships calling intermediately at third country ports or entering free zones. There are, however, possibilities identified to gather more information in the future. The Commission should look into these possibilities and see if and how they would help to improve the quality and availability of statistics. The optimal use of shipping should be stimulated, avoiding or further simplifying formalities for ships that have called at port or a third country or free zone. The recent initiatives and the development of the specific projects within EU, once implemented, should be a major step in this direction. As a next step, the Commission should look into further simplification measures by adding other, probably custom functionalities to its reporting formalities procedures. It is feasible to extend the simplification envisaged by the Reporting Formalities Directive to inland waterway transport and to match it with the safety net system, be it under certain conditions. The Commission should consider this and, if appropriate, address certain issues in the framework of the upcoming policy reviews and of the e-maritime initiatives. The Commission believes that one important element to achieve these objectives is to make better use of electronic information. National single windows will create national cross-cutting information sharing environments, enabling national authorities to access all relevant shipping information through a single point, while industry needs to submit information only once. With the support of the safety net system, relevant information can and will be shared between national single windows and consequently between member states. Finally, in order to have a more efficient transport world in the future, the common solution is to have planned coordination and simplifications in order to reach a better and easier world of maritime transport. So this is the end of the first session. Thank you very much for your attention. We'll be back in 15 minutes for the second presentation. Thank you very much. Πάμε με το λόγο.